Anti-regulation hands on chin, sighing badly at the thought. While the dining table of the circulation is clean, there's only 2 cows left. No all. Then Liu Feng's people didn't move their chopsticks. You are angry. They obviously don't respect the animal tribe. After the rest of the crew returned, dare to speak out loud. These people are not polite. We sincerely invite them to come, and they don't even move their wands. The princess is special. Take the precious food of the Ra tribe and wait for them. Princess Aya's bodyguard. I agree with Q Liu's statement. That's right. That's right. People have eyes higher than the top of their heads. It's hard to be in general. The princess let out a sigh and spoke. Okay, just a few less sentences. The other party's agreement to come to the party proved to be intentional. And about food. I came here and stopped my quiet eyes. You seem to be thinking about something that's hard to say. Maybe it's the food we've prepared. Not to their taste. Here's a picture of the fish, dancing in the ocean's waves, undulating face light. The sky shines on them and their bodies shine. I remember the time I ate delicious fish. It's a very happy feeling. Suddenly, the flow swung. Curled face, pouting lips, talking loudly. What's good about a little baron? Tomorrow, even if you die, they also die outside. I won't eat any of them. The next day at a party on board. A bountiful dining table in front of you. Lan's fragrance filled the room. It's all flavored paint. What is crab steamed beer? Grilled pork octopus steamed lemongrass to bud hamburger butter to. Steamed sea cucumber beef roasted shrimp burning edge. Etc. Oh my god, this is admin. The lake is the. Seeing the table in front of you. You couldn't hold back your emotions. 2 bright rotating circles. Drooling endlessly. Who's bringing the 8 out for me? I can't believe my eyes. What is this? Everything looks good. The white princess is overwhelmed by the hearty dining table. Voice wondering. Party away from home like this. How much does it cost? The stream is not over yet. Save the Wind generously said. My boss told me to prepare a lot of dishes in the kitchen. You're welcome. Stay enthusiastic. Princess Aya sheepishly replied to bother the owner. You often think, even during the height of the empire, animal will not entertain guests so heartily. After all, he and I are royalty. You can't shake your head thinking. The scabies captivated in the past. What the animals need now. It's not about remembering things from the past. It's about redeveloping from scratch to regain the glory of the former kingdom. The family continues to speak up as the host. We can discuss the business that you mentioned last time. So I'll get straight to the point. The Atlantic needs a lot of sheep and fleece. The princess asked how much she needed. It's 300 a day, 9,000 a month. Talk about here, Princess Aya with her panicked face. His eyes turned wide open, and he asked. 9,000. Keep calm and continue. Out. I need 1,000 exchange horses and 500 war horses. Later, the situation will increase in number. The purchase price will not be lower than the market price. If your side agrees, we can use interchangeable materials like fabric, wheat ceramics, and so on. Even salt is fine. The princess's eyes were still not dazed. Liu Feng continued. If I'm right, tribal salt is rare. I can assure you. Salt into our Atlantic. Quantity is sufficient. The fun turned raw, told Princess Aya. Sheep and fleece leaders don't matter. Like a war horse, Urza thought. Fish breast. The total number of tribal wars was no more than 2,000. Sold out by a quarter, the tribe's fighting strength will be greatly reduced. Just like in the spring, it's under attack from other tribes. Your Highness, sit down first. They say, but. Before I could finish the sentence, I said it again. Sit down first. Warm Thistle sitting down in a chair. Princess Aya is back to being the host. I can agree to this exchange. But if I find out you're just talking, then be prepared to pay the appropriate price. Go, said the cold eyes. Know that what we animals hate the most. It's human deceit. Soul's T.I. and Mina strained, dripping all sweat. Save the wind holding a glass of wine, shaking to reassure everyone. Don't worry, I'm an owner and a businessman. As a businessman, I have a lot of respect for integrity. The glass of wine in the hand is fine. You two touch the glass. So wish us a happy cooperation. Liu Feng said, if you have time, by the leader, come to our Atlantic City to see the SAO. If you need anything, we could also send a company to the Atlantic. Directly exchange. I'll definitely welcome everyone in person. Now, there's a lot of people in the Atlantic. Princess Aza replied, I've heard the name of the Atlantic City. I'll definitely go to the Atlantic City in time to visit the host of the wind. After the banquet of Liu Feng, Princess Aya and the defender, back to the tribe's camp. 2 people. I asked the princess, Your Highness, why did you agree to sell them horses? You have to know that it takes a lot of work to train war horses. Like that, not that others benefit unfairly, SAO. Princess Aza replied, the property of the owner of the Atlantic City is very powerful. Playing games is no less. Exchange so many essential supplies. It's very likely that there's a plot. The most important thing is, whether it's dealing with humans or animals. The attitude is also very good. The flow continues. There is no need to sell them horses. Aya is teaching. You don't understand. The character lives as the owner of the Atlantic City. The future is likely to be big. It's a good time now. Say not. You can borrow it later to restore the splendor of the animal empire. So the previous investment is indispensable. They sell 500 horses. Then we're still the most powerful tribe among the nearby tribes. It's a long way from affecting us so much. Linked to the Atlantic. Later, we will not be hurt by the criminals. Cunning trick again. This is also a good thing without harm. The rules scratching the head do not understand. So, the princess is going to visit the Atlantic City. Urza replied, Sansa needs to go. This time in the Black Sea. Owner Spencer asked. Sia said that I'm not going back to the west. Yang also said yes. The Lord told me to stay here for the time being. In charge of the cargo of sheep and cattle. Buy from the prairie. Mr. Spencer sighed and said, I'm sorry. I still want you to be with the owner. Slowly growing affection. Until you marry. It's this black water. You can also rest assured that it will be delivered to you. The aesthetic has been checked again. She held the knife up and continued. But here's the external reason. The owner has an important plan. I want your help to complete it. Pen holder knit 2 hands together. Ask what the important plan is. Shiza quickly opened the lid of the box. The pantser looked surprised and hesitated to ask. It's a great way to do that. Shiza nodded and laughed. At the secret palace of the 2 princes. The dark night, thunder and lightning. Prince Garina's hands on the table. Face full of gas. He said, "Fuck this Agni. He's just a marquis. Dare to reject me. It's something that doesn't know good or bad." Suddenly 2 Prince Garina panicked to say, "Who?" A door lies on his stomach on the bleeding floor. There's a guy out there who likes guests. He was defeated by the Red Deacon's sword. Of the Black Yanjia gang. I can't stand to talk. Don't worry, it's me. This guy likes the guests I found out about. Your security check doesn't matter. Without me, you'd be in danger. The 2 princes of Garina were in a cold sweat, and he hesitated. Not finished yet. The soldiers outside ran into the emergency. Newspaper, prince. This place is surrounded by the prince. What are the 2 princes panicking about? He calmed down in his piercing black voice. You're on such a mission. That great prince is already here. And you're not doing anything here. The judge replied calmly. We only have a partnership. Not a subordinate to you. Especially if it's not the Black Lagoon. Lucia's previous guest took your life. The 2 Garina brothers continued. This guy is also from Lucia. Why does he know we're here? Pink debutante crossed hands in front of boobs. He didn't know you were here. It's just that his power was there. You can scatter the capital. As long as it's where you are, he can get it. 2 Purple Prince pale face with sweat. He said it could be. Why does he have so many soldiers? The 2 princes laid their hands on the table and bowed their heads helplessly. Pink reassured him. But don't worry. There's Black Cross here. Your life is not worth worrying about. The 2 princes are still not worried. So my wonderful partner. Now we have to do SAO. Red, give up the king. It's like lightning flashing across your ears. Garina turned her head and said out loud what she said. Not willing to continue, the prince built the business of the royal capital. It's very solid. Even Duke Keek. He was also successfully manipulated by him. She even tried to marry Katerina to him. The king is also controlled by the prince. It's been half a month. The king did not allow people to be called to a meeting. I'm afraid the king has fallen into the hands of the great prince. Garina said if Lucia had control of a king. What do we have to fight him for? Red shook his head and said, don't you worry. This step, he's going the wrong way. The prince has surrounded your palace. He was in a hurry to destroy you. When people are in a hurry, it's easy to do stupid things. Taking the next step will make a mistake. If that's true, surely there will be traitors in the kingdom. Let's leave the capital first. Go to another territory and develop your strength. Until then, contact the forces. Dissatisfied with the king, the prince plotted slowly. The 2 princes stroked their mouths as if they were plotting. He thought back to what the deacon had just said. That makes sense. The artifice of Lucia. It will eventually be discovered. Until then, we can take this opportunity to rise again. Suddenly, he banged his hands against the big screaming table. Give orders. Give orders to the soldiers outside. Tell all the engineers to tidy up immediately. Let us kill and break the siege. We're going to the Northern Territory. Garina gave a sinister smile and said, My good brother, I will be back in a few days. Over here, Prince. Lucio heard about the plan to kill the gun too. Prince 7, he asked his subordinates why he was not dead. The name of the family kneels down and crouches. His face trembled with fear. The enemy prince is a formidable guard. Out. It seems that the two princes have struck out before us. Not finished yet. The bright light moved towards the subordinate's neck. He stood there for 5 seconds, and then there was a rustle. He fell to the ground. He died at the blow of Prince Lucia's sword. That's a killer. He killed a murderer. He treats people's lives like grass, even his brother. He even dared to kill. Let's not talk about this little subordinate. He spoke to himself as if to comfort himself. Move all the riders. Without killing someone who deserves to die, what do I need you to do? Then he wiped the bloody sword with a towel. Suddenly outside the door a voice echoed. Recently, Granda has begun to transfer property to its domain. If that's not the case, then we're not going to rush to it. The old man is running now. I'm afraid I'll summon the knights later. Prince Lucy replied with cold eyes. He's not that smart, is he? There's definitely someone there. You must be planning to help him. Then out he, who belonged to the theology of the kingdom of birth Lan. He's right, according to intelligence. The two princes behind him have the support of the dark Yanko. So it's not that simple to kill two princes. The prince wiped his face and said, if not with you, you still let it run. The name in the Bible, as we help you get the crown. Not Sao. The Black Iron Throne, let us have us. Even if two princes come to the land, it doesn't make any sense. His cold eyes continued. I just hope that when it comes to your majesty, let's not forget our wishes. Let our gods lead the way. Became the state religion of the kingdom of Lan. Prince Lucia replied, yes. Of course, the king of a country will not take his word for it. The silent moon night illuminated the whole kingdom. The sky is full of stars. The scene is poetic, as opposed to the air of death. In this kingdom, the clumsiness of the clumsiness. That's the step of Prince Lucia at night. It's late. Where is he going? Suddenly, he opened the door to his father's room. The king of the Lan palace is lying in bed. I can't sleep for a few hours. The prince went into the room. He closed the door with his hand. The door made a creaking sound. He moved closer to the bed. Smiling and bowing respectfully asked Father Hansha, are you healthier? The king could not speak. He seemed to recognize the falsity of the great prince. You're talking nonsense. Pretend duck. The prince with a lying eye spoke to his father. Ding Lan kingdom cannot one day without a king. Please give me the order to rule on behalf of the nation. What a crook. He tried to kill the two Garina princes, but it didn't work. According to admin's speculation, to win the throne. Will he ever kill his father? The king sat up coughing and said, where is Jenna? Tell Garina to come see me. The crown prince replied that Garina had run away. Kwok Fuong tried to continue speaking, ha 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 cough cough. Finally, you still act. So pitiful. I should have taken you all away in the first place. The prince asked urgently, so who is going to give the throne to Lucy Sao? He continued, unfortunately, you no longer have the chance. Having said that, he picked up the pillow and pressed it against the king's face and continued, Father, don't blame me. Obediently give the throne to me. The national palace of Lan is in disarray. Just in time for damage. Take your last breaths. The prince's eyes were red with an excited smile. It's a portrait of the man who killed his father. He said tomorrow the gold is mine. The king's hands fell. He died in the hands of his son. How many years I raised. Into the Atlantic. The next morning, the sun reached the top of the mountain. The wind blew the curtains softly. The sun's shining through the curtains. To the bed of lovers. He stroked Mina's tail. Your face is filled with satisfaction. The bed in the castle. It was more comfortable on the boat. Right? Mina still seems to be attached. The salty night last night. You're in the air. Your cheeks pressed against your chest, your face flushed. But you get up and talk. But the young master did not intend to wake up. There's a lot of work to be done. Keep the wind close to Mina's face. There's enough money in the Atlantic right now. There's nothing to deal with, even. Mina slightly raised her face with her eyes wide open and staring at the wind. Maybe you're expecting something. Keep it close to your face. What needs to be done now is. Listen to here. Mina closed her eyes and her cheeks flushed open. Tight lips, fast breathing. That's right. The two of them are about to give each other a passionate kiss. Note scene 18, plus audience should consider before watching. I thought people were going to get 8 free dogs. Then, suddenly, that AI's voice echoed from outside the door. Not good, young man. Ellie kicked the door in. Break the romantic atmosphere that enveloped the room. Panic say. The young king sent word. Oh my God, Ellie, it's Ellie. My wife and I are having sex. No matter how fast you are, you have to knock on the door. The space suddenly became quiet. 3 people looked at each other without words. It took Ellie 5 seconds. Hard throat cannot speak. He scratched his head and his hands. Didn't he understand what was going on? And Mina was ashamed of flushing tie pressure. Face to the heart of the wind. Adjust the clothes. 3 people in the living room talking. I read the letter and listen to Lily. Night Squad, take Princess Lucy back to the capital. They've set up an intelligence base there. This is news related to the capital that they reported about. When he finished reading the letter, he said, the current situation in the capital is tense. After the 2 princes left, the king has taken over the entire capital. Ellie said the pigeons brought the capital back. It'll take at least a few days. I'm afraid the prince has taken over the capital. Not a few days ago. He ordered Ellie to listen to my arrangements. Adds 1,000 troops to 500 men in the navy. Start stocking up on strategic supplies. Take the order down to the arsenal. Prepare equipment number 2 and equipment for all 6 troops. Ellie obeyed orders. At this time, Mina asked for the wind. This young man is preparing to fight. After saving the wind, the 4 princes and 2 princes left the capital. Return to your territory. Next, you'll definitely want to steal the land to deal with the prince. Our Atlantic city is also quite well known. Those 2 princes will definitely target us. For the safety of all the people in the city, we have to do a good job of preparation. That's what Ellie said. We have to call. Iran and those who sent to other cities returned. SAO. 1 more person is 1 more power. No need to save. Although the story of the 3 princes vying for the throne, it's a little sudden, but you don't have to worry about it all. The messengers of those 3 princes. We don't have to care anymore. Ellie bowed her face and her deep sad eyes answered. I don't know what happened to Princess Lucy. Cao Feng replied, I don't know why. Your relationship with Princess Lucy is so good. Mina laughed and said, Ellie read a novel by Princess Lucy. I'm still in love now. Ellie's embarrassed red face rushed to Mina. She shouted, Who let you say it? Miss Mina laughed. Ha ha ha, sorry. Liu Feng continued. It is still unclear what the situation in the capital is. Princess Lucy is in danger. Eliko sent people. Call Degina here. Ellie opened her eyes wide. Nicola walked into the room and said, Young Lady Dajia is here. Well, he said, invite her in. Degina Radiant's step in talking. The guard suddenly called me here. Is there any business that wants to work with me, Sao? Tell me, we're also close business friends. But it has to be a little bigger. Liu Feng Tong, except for business. There's so much that makes you so positive. No. There's news coming from the capital. Watch it first. Lady Degina holds the letter to read her next. I can't believe that fake prince would dare. Lori said Degina before I met her. We'll save Katharinia Ra. I'm sure I can do it. I know Lucy's your friend. So I'll also think of a way to save Lucy Ra. But right now, we're missing a powerful helper. So I hope you can wait a little longer. Lady Dazina replied, How do you need people? Business association for a few years. In the capital also called for many people to participate. What kind of people do you want? We can all recommend you. I saw the object soon enough. Besides, they're probably coming soon. Now Ninja and Leah plays sister. Of the bird tribe. Flying straight into the Atlantic City. Lee asked the ninja what you wanted to say. The ninja hesitated. Sister, tell me. If you don't want to come with us, you have to. Lee said it's impossible. She must be your sister. There's no way he won't go. Follow me. My wife's face looked worried. Faux rope cosmetic. Don't blame me. I really can't stop you. Leia and Miza are walking into the Atlantic City. Leia asked Miza, This Atlantic City has so many animals. Ninja told, I was surprised for the first time. But the rules of the Atlantic City are, people with animals live on equal terms. The animals in the Atlantic are very happy. Leia said nothing. Miza continues, the goat must be going to school right now. Should we go directly to the school and find her? Lee said if PJ's in school, don't bother him. Miza said, we can also go directly to the mainstream. PJ is now living with him. Lee said, well, so let's find out who's in charge first. But knowing the face is like not knowing the heart. Just contact him directly. It's hard to know who he is. How is the city? Let's talk about the owner of the city. Let's get to know this city first. Two people asked the man on the way home. Become their owner. The blue-haired girl asked to be the host of SAO. Lee said yes. Do you know what kind of person that owner is? The smiling blue-haired girl replied, of course I know. Her eyes lit up, and she continued to admire him. It's a very handsome owner. I'm very suspicious. I don't know him. Is he the prince of the capital? Or not? I'm really into people. The Leia and Ninja sisters looked at each other. Let's go ask someone else. A big muscular Taurus guy. Muscle roll landing. It's a very good owner. That's my idol. My whole life. I just wish I could be a man. Just like him. The two sisters went on to ask the others. This time it was an old man with a bald cane. He replied, "What did you say to the Lord?" The old man had traveled through hundreds of cities. It's really the first time I met such an owner. You can actually call him. Before he could finish the sentence, the two sisters bowed their heads. Thank you, my husband. I have to go first. Leah was upset. She punched her hand against the wall and ruined a piece. What are you talking about? Maybe the wind. It's so revered by everyone, Sao. The old man looked at the two sisters from a distance. Why are they angry? Ira asked Leah, great sister. We still continue, Sao. Lee paused for a moment and then said, Of course it has to continue. I don't believe it. There is no such perfect master in the world. Liu Feng was sitting when he suddenly sneezed sadly. Mina was making 8 soups and asked, Why, young man? Sao Feng replied, No, Sao. You often think, who is speaking badly behind my back? Leia and the ninja continued to interrogate the people here. To become a leper. Lee said we should go somewhere else. I don't believe it. There really is such a perfect master in this world. 2 people walking down the street. Then suddenly, there was a smell. I don't know where it came from. Leia takes a breath. The 2 of them follow the smell. Stop at a snack bar. The smell of food filled the entire space. The bartender on her plate of food. Shout loud for everyone to pass. Listen, big discount hot new products come out here. Lee curiously walked over to ask what this smelled like. The waitress replied with a smile. Are you talking about pizza? This is the new one. That's what our human uncle did. I can see you've just arrived in Atlantic City. Do you want to try it? Lee said thank you and ate a piece of pizza. I just took a bite of a dry bite, and I was surprised. The delicious taste of the cake awakened all her tastes. Leia was surprised. My God, it's so delicious. You can't believe your eyes. Even the trench in the bird tribe. Nor is it comparable. Girl serving. I saw Leia's surprised face and yearned for her. Hurry up if you want to sit in the bar. There aren't many others. We've got a lot of work to do today. Lee told the ninja to come and pay, and hurried into the office. The ninja laughed and replied. She remembered the food map that saved Ra's display during the fight with him. You used to think the scene was so familiar. These 2 sisters, you're not all going to sink into this. We bird people have to do this later. Leia, eat and drink, no get out the door. She told Miza, this Atlantic City food is cheap. It's okay to have more delicious food. I'm sweating, holding up my pocket and looking. Maybe Leia had a different thought about the Atlantic City, as well as being an adventurer. Suddenly, she turned her head to look at the restaurant. You see people and animals here. They're talking and laughing together. Spread a more aesthetic. It's really fun to confess here. I really support the owner here. But that, you have to contact the enemy a little. Then suddenly, she called my name Ra. Lisa looked back at me and asked, What else do you want to eat? He replied, Owner of this place, to treat fly really well, Sao. Miza replied, Yes, that's right. I sit quietly on the dark side thinking. The ninja would say that if. I said if. If Play really doesn't want to come back with us. You have to do something. Lee hesitated to say anything. After thinking for a while, she said, stop being stupid. It's only with us that it's safe. He said, turn around and walk forward. Just tell Misa. I have to take you to the rope. Your skin is chiseled, Leia replied, behind the shadow of her back. Two can be. It's almost time to get out of school. She's saying goodbye to her friends at the school gate. Yes, yes. Cute little brown bear, turn around and answer. I'll see you tomorrow and you're going home. Suddenly, I heard that AI calling me. The rope. She turned to look. Two people in the distance were wearing robes, slowly coming to you. Suddenly, you say a sister. You were surprised when you came here. Lee dropped one foot to the ground. Two outstretched hands speak with string pliers. I haven't seen you in a long time. Come and pick me up. Trying to get into my sister's lap. The line fluttered its bewildered face. And then she turns around and runs forward. Leia and Misa don't understand what's going on. Feather wire, feather wire. Leia sat down on the ground. Sad face darkening. I was surprised and had 7 hopes for you. How long have I raised? Ninja turned raw, asked Leia big sister. Are you okay with the pain? Shocked, the spirit answered very well. There was a time I didn't meet. The wings are stronger, right? Now in the capital, Lord Ellie brought a report to the order. You said, young master. What you gave me before is done. The Marines have summoned 500 men. 6 troops have also summoned 1,000 people. These owners say that. I'm going to take a trip to the Atlantic. You just need to set a specific time. Save the wind. We'll discuss this a little bit. Mina and Izina are having tea and breakfast. In Liu Feng's office. Fong is drunk reading the report. Then suddenly, the door opened. For a moment, not paying attention to everything around, she ran a circuit to the place where the wind flowed in. Your heart makes Ellie stand unsteady and wobble. About to report flying out of hand. Save Feng startled by panic. I don't understand what's going on. What are you talking about? String foam, tears fluttered against Master Feng. I can't finish the sentence. I don't know, in some way. Spread a thread of goat fowl was chased to the place. You scream, where do you want to run? Lee uses her feet to kick. Cracked wood door, made many pieces. Shoot around to take off your weapon. Straight in front of the wind. Mina and Izina anxiously yelled at the young master carefully. Master, be careful. Save the air. Stand up without fear of anything. Mina got into a fight with Leia. Save the wind loudly stop hand. Play screaming for me not to. At this point Leia and Mina stopped. The night falls. Everybody calmly sit down and talk to each other. Put your hands on your chest and bow your head sincerely. I'm sorry, Master Liu, there is no evil intention. It's just that she saw the rope turn and run away. So angry, a little uncontrollable. Spreading a standing folded hands watching. Save the generous air Sao. Not if. It's just the rope. It's a misunderstanding. Spreading a look of anger to the day. That's enough for me to play that day. It's time for Theo to come back. This place is too dangerous. You must know that. There's only one rock that's a safe stop.